Joining us now is Malinda Herr-Chambliss. She is the Executive Director of the Hot Springs Documentary Film Festival, and we are pleased to have you with us. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
All right. You guys ready for the big avalanche that's coming to
We
Hot
are.
Springs?
We are. We're getting ready for about 22,000 people to join us. And before I came over here this morning, we had a call from Taiwan, and there's a whole family that meets here throughout their different continents that they live on. There are 5 of them that are coming over, and they're very excited about it. Wanted to make sure they had the right dates.
So you don't want to show up and not have the right date.
No.
You know, it's next week. Oh.
You know, the beautiful thing is that it really is, it's internationally known. And outside of the state of Arkansas, we're known as the filmmakers community. And it's because of the beauty of the people in Hot Springs. We have over 700 volunteers. And these are dedicated festival volunteers, and they will take 3-hour shifts from 9 in the morning to midnight. And they'll do everything from greeting to popping popcorn to picking up trash to picking up filmmakers at the airport. And the filmmakers take note of that. And we also get audiences. The filmmakers that do the festival circuit say a lot of times there are not very many attendees watching their films. And we have to break the crowd from the attendees from asking questions so that we can show the next film. So the filmmakers say, you are the Filmmakers Festival. And there are a lot of film festivals. We're a solely documentary film festival, and we're the oldest solely documentary film festival in the U.S., second only to Amsterdam internationally. So because of that, we have amassed quite an archive. We have over 17,000 documentary films.
Tell me, how many films are we going to see on display at this festival coming up, and what is kind of the diversity and the breadth of what we'll see?
This is the largest format we've ever had. We have 139 films that we're showing. Almost 1,000 films came in from all over the world for screening, and our dedicated volunteer screening committee, in between diapers and dates and family and school, they had to see 150 films before they could get a vote on the screening. And this is a long process. This is a 38-member, half in Little Rock and half in Hot Springs, that met continually to review the films and review the films, and they brought that down to the films that we've selected now. There is the key element of our film festival this year is environmental sustainability. And there we have world premiere films that we're showing regarding that. We have special filmmakers that are coming in that our film festival director, Dan Anderson, can tell you a little bit more about. But the main emphasis is that there are the environmental sustainability format. There also are the social sciences, and we have really key films for art. There's a celebrity that's coming in. Many of the viewers may know Ron English, and we are very fortunate. He's actually going to be here, and he has recently really been in the news, and there's a wonderful documentary that he has done, and he's coming.
This is Abraham Obama?
That is correct.
Yeah. I saw the trailer for that. So.
Yeah, and there's also, we're hoping to do something very special, spontaneous with our audiences and he and his art. And
so you're telling me I should bring my spray paint can with me?
Yeah,
is that
bring
what it is?
yeah, do that.
That's the genre that he is well known in.
You need to do that. But the different categories, you know, there are films on every subject matter that you can think of. The beauty of the documentary film format is everybody has a story. And there's such a need to tell the stories today, and they're all real stories. And I think people are looking for real stories and finding them in the documentary format. For every one entertainment film that's being made, there are 8 documentary films that are being made. Interestingly enough, 2/3 are being made by women. So it's a real career choice for young Arkansans. It is a real economic tool for our state, and we just recently received a lot of support from our governor with the passage of the film bill. And he's been very supportive of the arts, he and his wife, in our state.
Well, you mentioned the film incentives that have been passed by the state of Arkansas. That has got to produce some economic incentives, obviously, to draw more filmmakers to Arkansas to make their projects, produce their projects, as well as homegrown talent.
Absolutely. Many of our neighboring states have incentives that we probably won't get, nor do we really need to deliver them that way. What I like about the bill that is our representatives, like Representative Saunders and our film commissioner, Chris Crane, and the governor and the whole legislative body have put together is, it's not like just come here and make a film and then leave. It's like, come here and make a film and use Arkansans, and here's another incentive. And by the way, while you're here, you know, there's a grassroots for all of us to bring in our young filmmakers, such as the gentleman who's filming the interview right now, and bringing in the next generation to where they can have sustainable careers in filmmaking in our state without having to leave and come back. And so what we're interested in at the Film Institute is being very supportive of that as well. Many of the things that we have bought in for the festival are these incredible panels. The University of Central Arkansas's film department is sponsoring an incredible week of very relevant workshops on all different levels of filmmaking, in particular documentary films. And those are not available anywhere else, and they are free. And they're limited, so if people are interested, they need to check the website. But that goes back to the environmental, the economic sustainability also of our state. Take, for instance, let's say the Toronto Film Festival. Their yearly impact was $64 million this year, and Sundance was a record breaker. It was 92. The statistic that we have is 4 years old. You know, our 12-day event is a $4.5 million impact on the state of Arkansas, and I think in a very positive education and cultural way. With the backing of our state and incentives and things like that, there's no reason we can't triple that. And there are a lot of plans on the board for that.
Let's don't settle for triple. Let's 10 times.
Yeah,
let's go that big with it.
Yeah. The documentary format itself, though, is also very relevant, because today, if you can't tell a story in a visual way, with a beginning and an end, you're kind of a lame duck in a global economy. So it's very important for the next generation, as well as this generation, to really understand that format.
What is your favorite part of the festival?
I am hopelessly passionate about this, because everyone's story happens to be interesting to me. And I like hearing it personally from them. And I like being exposed to things that maybe I had no idea about, or things that I considered I really wasn't very interested in. I like the exposure and the openness of it, and it's literally a passport to an open mind. And each filmmaker that comes to us is passionate about that particular subject matter. And there is, I think it goes back to sitting around a fire camp and everybody liking to hear the stories. These stories are being told visually. The other part that I like about it is that they are being preserved for the next generation. They are history, and they are being captured on film.
Malinda Herr-Chambliss, she is the executive director of the Hot Springs Documentary Film Institute. The Hot Springs Documentary Film Festival begins October 16th, runs through the 25th.
It does, and we have an updated website, and we are fully socially networked, and so we invite everyone to HSDF, www.hsdfi.org.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
We're back with more right after this.